Isn't it true that we rely on our manufacturers to provide us with the equipment, the tools, and the products that we need? There are some stories of ISSA member organizations that are still to be told. Today, I look forward to spotlighting one of them, Pacific Floorcare. And to do this, I welcome to the program the company president, Bill Fisher. So, Bill, welcome to our program. I look forward to our discussion today. I hope all is well in your world.
It is, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with this question as we get into our interview. It's a burning question. Everyone wants to know the answer to this. All of our viewers are wondering, how does a company like yours in Michigan, Pacific Floorcare, why that name?
Well, the company originated in the Bay Area, so thus the name Pacific.
Yeah, I wondered how Pacific came into play there since you're nowhere near the coast. So well covered. Tell us exactly what Pacific Floorcare does now and what it offers the industry.
Well, through the years, most people may not realize this, but this is my second tour of duty, so to speak, at Pacific. I was at Pacific in the 90s, from 1990 to about 2004, when I started my own business, a janitorial distribution company in Carmel, Indiana. So my first tour with Pacific in 1990, we were moving more towards a full line supplier. We were not yet producing our own auto scrubbers. We were doing like quite a few companies do, is that they're importing scrubbers from Europe. That's now since changed, and you see a lot more imports from China. But we were importing from a couple of companies on auto scrubbers in Europe to round out our line. Now, the complexities of importing machines and then service parts and all of that became somewhat cumbersome. So we were looking at, before I left to start my own company, we were investigating, I should say, and investing in producing our own auto scrubbers at that point. Since I've rejoined the company, I was doing a little consulting for them, and then Larry Hines, who's the owner, said, "Look, we'd love to have you back. Would you want to come back?" And I said, "I'll do it. I'll come back," because I saw a challenge. I also saw this, Jeff. I saw that the people changed. When I was back in 1990, I had a lot of ex-Clark engineers that were, so to speak, in their twilight. So they weren't really interested in producing innovation. They were kind of coasting, like a lot of folks do. And I'm not talking negative about them. A lot of folks do when they get up, in retirement age. So when I was doing some consulting for Larry, I noticed a huge change in the quality of engineering staff that he had. He had pulled over quite a few of the Tenet, which, by the way, Tenet is in Holland, Michigan. We're in Muskegon. They're only 20 miles south from us. But there were 3 engineers that came over from Tenet that started to produce high quality auto scrubbers. And that intrigued me because I didn't have that my first go around. I was importing. Now we have control of our own destiny, so to speak, with what I consider simple, durable, and reliable auto scrubbers. Our company talks about now that we're purpose built. And what these guys did is they listened to the voice of the customer. They had a lot of focus groups, meetings and so forth, and really zeroed in on, what people wanted with an auto scrubber. So today I'm pleased to say that, I joined a team that has produced probably the finest auto scrubbers in the industry.
Well, congratulations on all that. Good story to share. So it's your second go around with Pacific. Are you now the owner?
I am not. I'm the president.
Okay.
The owner is Larry Hines. Now, when I talked about those Clark engineers, Larry was president of Clark Floor Machine back in 1980. And shortly after that, he left Clark and he bought Sam's company, which was Pacific Floor Machine Company. Since that time, Larry has bought and sold probably a couple dozen companies in a variety of industries. His thought was that all in small manufacturing. When I say small manufacturing, it's he's in the pump business, fuel pump business. He's in the road construction business. So he's another one is a big boiler company, industrial boiler company. So he's got an array of he's very diverse in his portfolio. And he's always told me I've kept it that way because some industries are up, some industries are down, and it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, smart entrepreneurs will do that. So,
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a long time. Why this industry for Bill Fisher?
Well, I'll tell you, my first profession, and what I kind of hanged my hopes on was I got a basketball scholarship at Mississippi State, so I played basketball down there. I came back up to New Jersey and in South Jersey, which is about 45 minutes from where I was from Philadelphia. And Philadelphia had a pro summer league. So I played in the pro summer league for a few years, hoping to catch on to an NBA team. But, that didn't happen. So the reality set in. I had to go out and get a job. So I looked, it was funny. I always tell people this. I looked at an ad in the newspaper and it said, of course, you couldn't say this today, but back then it was aging sales force looking for a young professional to come in and make some significant changes.
What a pitch.
So and that was Sanitary Supply Specialties. That was Ben Ozerkis, and Ben, I could recall going to visit with Ben and sitting down with him. It was a Saturday morning. He interviewed me and we talked, and he told me, he says, listen, it doesn't make a difference what you sell. What makes the difference is how much you can make in selling what you have. And he said, so if somebody gets offended in your family that you sell toilet tissue, and you're at a party, well, this may not be for you, but he said you can make a lot of money selling toilet tissue. And he offered me the job that Saturday. I started with him. And I was with him for about 7 years before I became a sales manager for him. Before I left there, I went to Windsor Industries. So I was with Windsor Industries for about 8 years in various capacities. So I got to learn a lot about the manufacturing. So here I got a good feel for the distribution. And then I joined Windsor and got a real good understanding of the manufacturing side of the industry. Well, then I left and went back into distribution. I went and I was executive vice president of HP Products for about 5 years in a regional powerhouse in the Midwest. And that's when I got back into manufacturing with Larry. So I had my own business selling janitorial supplies. So my background, I'm very, very fortunate to have been on both sides of the fence, both small manufacturing, large manufacturing, small distribution, large distribution. So I got a real good understanding of not only the industry, but what's needed to be to make companies successful.
Well, instead of basketball, here you are. Well, cleaning the floors balls bounce on, I suppose you could say.
I tell you what, though, I wouldn't change it. A lot of people say to me, hey, you're in the cleaning industry, and they kind of look at me like that.
Mhm.
And, so I think people really out there, number one, don't have a true understanding, nor do they have a true appreciation when they walk into a building and the building's clean the next day. They just go to work and it's an assumption that somebody's cleaning it. And, that's so what? But I think that I've seen significant strides in our industry to become more of a professional industry that people can relate to and associate to, other than just, people clean floors. So again, a lot of people ask me, would I change, if I had to go back in time, would I change anything? 42 years in the cleaning industry, and I loved every minute of it.
That's nice to hear, and uh, good thoughts, because you're right. Many people don't see it the same way, but those that do make a big difference, a positive difference for the industry. So let's talk about what Pacific Floor Care is doing. What are you building for the future? And I notice in your background, there's a building you probably want to talk about, something happening.
I do. We're very fortunate. I joined back up with them just prior to the pandemic. And we pivoted, like, most companies, most manufacturing companies, when the pandemic hit, they just kind of took it that they were going to be a 60-70% loss in business. Well, we didn't settle for that, so we moved quickly, and we started a subsidiary called Pure Protective Equipment, thus the PPE. And what I did there was I sourced companies that really didn't have the sales and marketing, structure to go out and actively pursue what customers at that point in time needed. So we had alliances with UV lighting companies, both ceiling UV lights and the ones you'd pull into a room and have to leave to make the room safe, so to speak. We dealt with just an array of different companies. We had about 6 of them that were under the subsidiary that we were partners with, and we utilized our sales and marketing team to go out and promote their product line. So it was at that point in time, it was good for both of us, and we really capitalized on that. So the year that everybody was complaining during the pandemic of 2020, and they were down 70-80%, we were up 24% from the previous year. So we made, I could say we made the right decision at the right time, and we did it quickly. We didn't let any grass grow under our feet, so to speak. So we very fortunate there. And then what that did was that enabled us to now take a look at new product development and reinvest in a lot of new products. So we started to take a look at new product development in a different way. Most manufacturers, if they're increasing their business 6 to 8% a year, they're slowed then to take a look at investing in quite a bit of new products for the industry. So when you take a look at where we are, and what you're going to see from us is we're trying to change the way people clean. And that's not an easy task, because people are resistant to change. And what you'll see at this year's ISSA show is a product called Quick Scrub. And we're very, very open to people that want to come to us with ideas and suggestions. we're not a company that, you know, doesn't have time for that. We make time for that. And we had a company come in and talk to us about an idea they had. And they were heavily involved in quick serve restaurants and slip falls and liability issues. And if you ever been into a McDonald's, you'll know that they're using a mop bucket, and the chances are you duck your head in it like we all do. You know, in the cleaning industry, we're out there, we peek around, we look at stuff, and you know they're just transferring dirt, and thus it becomes a slip fall issue. And it's not it's a very, very expensive proposition, especially if you're having a lot of slip falls. So everybody wanted to get away from the mop bucket and wringer. So we designed a unit that has the same footprint of a mop bucket and wringer, but what you're putting down on the floor is the minimum solution, just enough solution. You're not overwetting the floor, but enough solution to suspend the dirt with the brush. And then we have it's a flip tool, swivel tool that vacs it right up. I guess you could say effectively positioned a machine to displace the mop bucket and wringer and to eliminate slip falls, as well as, you know, if you've ever, you know, you travel a lot, you go through airports and you got to go to the bathroom and there's a sign that says, no, you know, out of order, you got to go down. It's because they're mopping the floors. With our system, they never have to shut a restroom down. Another thing with the system is the expense of restoration cleaning. You know, if you can't keep something clean to avoid restoration, then you need to have somebody come in and do restoration cleaning, and that's very costly. So what this does is it eliminates the spread of the dirt with dirty buckets, and to the point of restoration, to the fact that they're cleaning efficiently the right way every day, and they're removing that soil. So we're very excited about that product, and you'll see us. We've got a whole setup there for folks to see this year.
Well, I suppose we'll stop by your booth and take a look and see what that's all about. So congratulations on new and important innovation. That's good to see.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that I could just share with you, we've got 5 new products over the next 5 years that we're going to be launching and introducing to the market. And a lot of these came from, Jeff, again, we talk about the voice of the customer. We've really escalated our focus group meetings, and we've gotten such tremendous input and suggestions on you know what we're trying to accomplish. And you know, we've made some modifications to some machines that we're going to be launching. And if we didn't, you know, it would be like you know, manufacturers of the past, where they come out with a new machine, you get it out there, and then the people become the test pilot on a launch. So we're trying to minimize as much as possible before we get a new product out. And then it's got to meet our criteria. And the criteria is simple. If it doesn't reduce labor, it's probably not going to stick. It's probably not going to work. So
makes sense. So Pacific makes floor care equipment. You've got great products. You have some new innovations coming. But if someone were to ask you, what are you doing about the Cleaning for Health initiatives out there, how would you answer that?
Well, we have a sustainability book on our equipment. We're the only company, I do believe, I may be wrong, somebody may correct me, but I don't think so, that we offer true HEPA off the exhaust of our scrubbers. And we have gotten involved with a company, a partner that has sustainable solutions with chemical. Now we're not here to say we're going to get in the chemical business, because we're an equipment manufacturer. However, we did find a way to take the chemical, abrasive, and then the mechanized cleaning equipment to give an outcome. And we've done thorough testing on that. And a lot of that, Jeff, has centers around, concrete and any type of stonework that people are trying to get away from coating those floors. So we've got solutions there that are proven and are simple for anybody to complete. And so, we're always looking for ways to make it simpler for the people that are using our equipment to get the outcome they desire on the floor. So it's been good for us.
The challenge is everyone thinks it needs to look clean, which it does. It needs to look good, but they forget about the cleaning for health. It sounds like you've got that figured out. So thank you for those details. But my next question, Bill, is one, it may be a stumper. So are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
All right. You've been an ISSA member for many years. Specific Floorcare has been. How many years would you say?
I'm going to say, if I had to guess, because I know Sam was very active in it, I am going to say it's over 70 years.
Very close, almost 70, 69.
Okay.
Since 1954. What an accomplishment.
And boy, has things changed.
Yes.
Sam was just a wonderful man. And I learned a lot. My first go around was here. Sam was still employed. Larry wanted to keep him involved, even though Sam was up in age. And so I got time to spend a lot of good quality time with Sam. And he used to show me pictures of trade shows and marketing, with utilizing, ladies with bathing suits. Boy, has it changed. Back then it was, he showed me some funny pictures and so forth, but he was, we've always said this, this is Larry's company, but Sam sits here, and he'll always sit here. And Sam's deceased now, but I'll tell you, he made an indelible mark on me and everybody here at Pacific. We are a growing company. We've been very fortunate, to grow at a rate of 25% a year, and we've been investing. You see the expansion. We've doubled the size of our manufacturing facility. We've added more rotationally molding machines. I think we have 3 now, and we're prepping for the future. We're opening up a state-of-the-art training center. We'll do a lot of virtual training, which will be somewhat unique for the industry and how we're going to accomplish that. But when you look at ISSA, we're a company growing, and when we go to a trade show, you may notice we have different themes. Last year it was boxing. This year it's baseball. Next year it could be football, and we promote that through the year to get people kind of excited about coming to our booth and wanting to see, what are they going to do this year? So we think we've mastered the theme down there. But the reason we're at the ISSA show and have the value of the ISSA show is because we gain a lot of momentum and ground with distribution that wants to consider making a change. And a lot of distribution out there, when you look at distribution per se, aside from the consolidation, everybody understands it's consolidating, we get all that, but I still think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for independent distributors. The thing that I see that I think that is key is that we always refer to street margins. And when I talk to business owners and you know, distributor owners, the first thing I say out of my mouth is how are your street margins on equipment? Where were they 10, 15 years ago? Where are they today? And I continue to get a response that we've lost 8 to 10 points. And you know, I say, well, the reason you lost 8 to 10 points is because a lot of the brands that you're associated with and carrying have flooded the market. Either that, they're on their way to possibly selling direct and selling around you. So everything has contributed to a margin erosion. And when you have margin erosion, you have commission deductions or erosion as well. So we're going to try to bring the life back into equipment with the way we're promoting and marketing and selling our products in the across the country. We want to right now. We've taken a lot of surveys, and right now, you know, our margins are up around 26, 28% on equipment. Well, the industry is probably 19 to 20. So when we go to the ISSA show, it's to us, it's such a valuable show for us. Now, would I say that if I was somebody, you know, doing 200 million a year and had our distribution set? Maybe that's a different, you know, a different story for those guys, you know, that maybe they feel as though they don't need it. I don't think we'll ever be in that position to not need ISSA.
You mentioned the themes you've had. You must have had a basketball theme at one time.
Not yet.
Oh, Bill. Didn't you tell me?
Jeff, I'll tell you what, you know, social media is such, you know, and, you know, Ricky at Rosalato does a superb job. I started doing social media, and the first one was I did weekly posts on boxing, and I tied boxing into cleaning. And so we had a boxing thing. Everybody loved it. All right.
Yeah.
We were dressed up as trainers, like Angelo Dundee with Muhammad Ali. We were all in the white with the black, you know, and people really took to it. So this year, I've been doing posts about baseball and tying baseball, and it kind of made it funny. I'm centering a lot about Major League, you know, that most people, maybe people our age, are accustomed to it. Younger people may not, you know, understand them and have seen the movie. But so this year it's going to be baseball, and we have a separate technology, what we call a technology bullpen. And in the technology bullpen, we're going to show folks how to sell product and not price product. We've got a lot of technology there that we're going to share during the show. We're going to have breakout sessions, and it's going to be in an enclosed area within the booth. So
it all sounds good, Bill, but you're a basketball player. So when is it going to be about basketball?
Well, I keep getting push from people, everybody, about football next. So sooner or later we'll have basketball.
Okay, because when you do, you should have a contest and prove yourself once again.
I'll tell you what we thought. We thought about putting a batting cage in the booth this year, and it would have taken up too much space. So
that's too bad. I could definitely embarrass myself by coming over and trying that out. Well, Bill, I've enjoyed our conversation. I'd like to wrap up with one thing. Would you like to share some final thoughts, some advice, open mic opportunity? What would you like to tell the industry from Bill Fisher?
I'm going to tell the industry that we should all appreciate what we do, because what we do is important. And the health and safety of people in commercial institutional buildings should be a priority. And, especially with, we've got hit with the pandemic, I'm sure there's going to be something else come down the road. And, the cleaner and healthier the buildings are, the I think the better that we all are going to be for and have appreciation for that. So the cleaning is so important, yet so, I think, underestimated or underappreciated with a lot of people. They just look at it as a necessity. It's not a necessity. It is a mandatory function that should be appreciated. And so that's my input.
Good input, and thank you for that. I guess the next thing I'm going to say is I'll see you at ISSA show.
We will see you there.